Good morning, Dakar Rally Daily listeners and viewers. I'm Jesse Ziegler, and you know who that is.
Yes, Quinn Cody here.
And we are in the Cycle News studio for the Climb Dakar Rally Daily Show from Stage 7 of the 2025 Dakar Rally. I think today is going to be the best show we've ever done by about a degree of 10. Yeah. Because of like the amount of fame coming on our show today cannot be described until you just listen to it.
Yes, we have a special guest. We got a phone number, some contact information from someone that's very legendary person within the rally and
world
motorsport world.
Never in my life growing up in Montana did I think I would have this person's phone number.
So we're going to try to cold call.
Yeah, we're going to cold call somebody. Cold calling people across the world to get some info on what they think of the rally. So coming up soon, but we got to talk about what actually happened at the rally today. Mm-hmm. And boy, Daniel Sanders isn't done winning. He won the rally stage today, starting in about 9th, I think, in the morning, and he just put the hammer down. You mentioned yesterday, maybe he doesn't want to win. Well, he clearly doesn't care what we think, and he just, beat second place by 3 minutes today.
I mean, that was my prediction was that Sanders would win if he wanted to, and clearly he wanted to.
Clearly, Sanders wants to win.
This is Daniel's 5th stage win of this Dakar. And we're 7 stages in.
Yeah, and we got to talk about that, right? Like 5 stage wins in Dakar is unheard of.
Really, yeah.
In modern times, like it doesn't happen.
No, I think Toby Price in 2016, the year that he won, he won 5 stages also. But we're only 7 stages in.
We got more to go.
We may see a new record from Sanders.
Yeah, great job by Daniel Sanders. Another great job in second place. Edgar Canet came in. The rookie came in second on the stage today. Sounds like his timing disappeared during the day. Some glitch in there. They didn't know where his standing was until he actually got to the finish line. And man, he came in hot. Only 3 minutes behind Daniel Sanders. So we got a Red Bull Factory KTM 1-2. Tosha Schareina hanging in strong. Like he's coming on really strong and consistent at the end of this rally. He's in that right spot where he doesn't lose that much time, but he can gain a little. He was 3:47. So literally, 11 seconds behind Edgar.
Yeah. And Schareina is probably really the only guy that's in touch with Daniel Sanders anymore in the general classification.
Right.
So, if anyone could possibly attack Daniel Sanders in this race, if Sanders doesn't have a problem or crash out, would be Schareina at this point. So it's good to see him consistently finishing, up there on the top, and it's going to make for exciting. It looks like he led for a while today, collected a good 2 minutes of bonus time. Yeah,
so riding strong, riding at the front, keeping it up there. His teammate Pablo Quintanilla was 4th today, 5 minutes and 27 seconds back. Adrian Van Beveren, who started in 2nd today, right behind teammate Ricky Brabec, was in 5th. He ended up getting about 4 minutes of bonus time, but he's still 6 minutes and 56 minutes back after that. 6th place, Luciano Benavides, carrying on a strong race. 7:27 off the lead pace today. Nacho Cornejo, hero rider, the last standing hero rider. He's 8 minutes and 4 seconds off the pace. 8th place, Rui Concalves and Lorenzo Santillino. They take the Shercos in 8th and 9th place, 8:46 and 9:27 back. And then Ricky Brabec, today's stage opener, he was 10th place today. Lost a bunch of time. 10 minutes off the pace. And that's after getting 4 minutes and 47 seconds of bonus that he basically shared with AVB out there at the beginning of the race. So tough day for Ricky. He ended up losing 10 minutes and he doesn't have, 10 minutes to give. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a rough day for him. It looks like he got lost early in the stage. According to his quote it sounds like he had a misdirection in the beginning, had to turn around. Really, really, hard at this stage of the rally to drop another 10 minutes to Sanders. And, he did collect 4:47 of bonus time. So that means that, on the clock head to head, he lost almost 15 minutes. He had a little bit of cushion there to save him. Another guy who looks like lost some time, and I haven't heard exactly what happened here, but Skylar Howes, he's plus 11:23, and I haven't gotten any info from Skylar whether it was a crash or a misdirection or something, but tough one for him too.
Yeah. Overall, Daniel Sanders is leading this race by 15 minutes and 33 seconds. I think it's his largest lead of the race so far after this stage over Tosha Schareina. He's right behind him, obviously, 15 minutes back. Then Adrian Van Beveren's in third place. That gap is 26:07. Ricky Brabec in fourth at 33:19. So you can see where that gap is really starting to spread out there.
Yeah, 30. Yeah. I mean, 33 minutes now at this stage in the rally with, only, a handful of stages left that's a tough one for Brabec. And,
yeah.
I mean, we hope, anything can happen, right?
Yeah,
One second to the next, it can be different in this race, but, it's not looking great for Ricky at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to need some help. Anybody back here, if they're going to be on that podium even, because of that gap. Luciano Benavides, fifth place overall, 37-32 back. Skyler, there he is in sixth overall, 38-48. Pablo Quintanilla, 46-19 behind the leader, overall general classification. Nacho's in eighth place. He's 52 minutes back. Ninth place, that Sherko's getting into the top 10 overall there with Lorenzo Santolino. He's an hour 18 off the lead pace. And then Edgar Canet, that Rally 2 rookie on the factory KTM.
Yeah.
10th spot overall, sitting there really pretty right in front of, Tobias Ebster, also Rally 2. So those guys are neck and neck. There's about a 20-minute gap between those two, but 1 hour and 20 minutes and 1 hour and 42 minutes off the pace.
Yeah. And, can't say enough about Edgar Canet, 19 years old, up there mixing it up with the big boys and leading Rally 2. Mm-hmm. And really, he's only 2 minutes off of Lorenzo Santolino.
For ninth, yeah.
For ninth. And, that really kind of gives him, a good motivation to move up within the top 10 and possibly, get a good top 10 finish. I mean, he's 10th, but inside the top 10 would be incredible for him.
Yeah. More positions in reach for him. And Ebster really, cause he's only 20 minutes out. So Tobias is having great rides and him and Edgar are really going back and forth a lot. And I got to get a shout out to Stefan Svitko in 12th place, 149. Yeah. He's only 6-7 minutes behind these young kids, and he's our age probably.
Yeah, I mean, Svitko was racing when I was racing back in 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
So
what a legend.
He's still going, and it's
awesome.
incredible. And he's a Slovak rider, and he's a legend in that country, really. And he
should be, yeah.
Been able to keep this momentum going with his sponsors and with everything, to be able to continue to put this effort together every year is incredible.
Yeah, it's hard to get there once, people. Like, it's hard to get here once and hard to finish once. And it's hard to be in the top 10 almost.
I don't think he's never been on a factory team. I don't think that I can recall. So, this is however many 15 years of Dakar and basically funded by, his own sponsors and people that he's, put together. So.
Yeah. So he's an inspiration. I love seeing it. And the more years we do this, you see these familiar names and these standings and you watch them go around and the struggle it takes to get there. And the dedication they have to make all year to get the funding and stay fit and be up on your training, and then to come in here and then, there's 19-year-old kids coming in just sending it out in the desert. You gotta put it together for 2 weeks and try to hang on with them.
Definitely.
There's some other people that we're not seeing in those results that we kind of were hoping we would see up there. Notably Mason Klein. Mason had a mechanical failure today and actually pulled out of the rally. There's some footage of, James Hillier, who we interviewed on rest day, the Isle of Man TT racer. He was trying to pull him with a, basically tow rope through the dunes. It didn't look like it was going too well, and Mason had to pull the ripcord and get out of the race. Also, Jacob Argebright dropped off today. It looked like he was parked out in the desert for a while today on the map. We don't have any info from Jake, but he's probably having a long night over there right now anyway. So we're trying to get update from Jake, but he dropped down the standings quite a bit in Rally 2.
Yeah, Jake made it to the end of the stage, but I think he finished, he's sitting 25th overall. So he finished a ways back, and he's now pretty far back in the Rally 2 classification. So, he was fighting for a podium before that. So we'll see if we can't get some more info from Jake and figure out what was going on today.
Yeah, the attrition we should state is really starting to ramp up. The first few days we had 2-3 guys out, and I think there's
a lot.
There's 50 probably, that have abandoned the race now. It's starting to ramp up. The race is getting to the point where bikes and bodies and, mental anguish is just pulling people out.
Yeah, and it sounded like the stage 6 was pretty tough for a lot of the amateur riders.
Yeah.
And, the organization was pulling people out of the desert until late the night before stage 7. And so they even had to delay the start and shorten stage 7 a little bit, I think by about 42 kilometers to, account for that time lost with the helicopters and, kind of the cleanup of stage 6. So day after rest day was tough on some guys. And, unfortunately Mason went out today, obviously some kind of mechanical with the Cove. So, it's tough to see, the amount of work that's been put in there and
the amount of potential is
the potential.
Most disappointing.
Yeah. I think the potential is the most disappointing is that, for sure we see the potential for Mason to be running inside this top 10 and mixing it up with the boys up front. And so to, be struggling along with mechanicals and all this kind of stuff for, 7 stages and then go out, it's, not a good thing. And, like I said in the beginning is that they're trying to do their development at the Dakar, which they need to be doing their development all year long. And then, showing up to the Dakar ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Niels Therick, he's having a better race for sure, but I think he had to do an engine swap on rest day too. He's got a 15-minute penalty, and we heard that he was doing an engine swap. I don't have that confirmed information, but with a 15-minute penalty in that class, that's generally what it means.
Yeah, I think Rally 2, it's a little bit less of a penalty when they do an engine swap, but, so I think they're doing that out of caution.
Okay.
Probably maybe they saw some signs of something within the engine and they figured it's better to swap it and keep them in the race.
Yeah.
But
he's been riding great.
It's unfortunate, but I mean, it's it's a new brand, it's a new team. Really, this is their only second year,
third
year. So it takes a long time. I mean, KTM didn't come out swinging the first year and knock off the factory BMWs. So there's potential here for a big future and a new brand into rally at the top.
Don't forget, we saw those bikes in the original by Multool class. Javi Vega's riding one. James Hillier's riding one still. So, these bikes are out there and it's making people get into rally, and that's the point.
And I think they're probably perfectly fine for the amateur type rider, the pace that an amateur is going to ride, and, a Malimoto guy. And, I think it's really good. But when you come into, the top level guys, and there's that extra 20%, and it's 20% at the very top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like they're just carrying a little more speed. It's like they're maxing that engine out.
Yeah.
And stressing the chassis and everything else. So
yeah, makes a difference. Let's hear from somebody who's maximizing everything this race. Daniel Sanders, here's his quote from the finish line today. The man is on a mission.
Yeah, it's pretty fast, very fast. Technical at the start, we had a lot of rain. But it was only at the start, so it was a pretty wet line to see in front, and just had us kind of correct and not follow the mistakes with the navigation. So it wasn't too bad. Focus was good, speed was good, head was good. So it was a much better day compared to yesterday. Made a couple little clickers on the suspension, made it a bit stiffer for the sand, so that helped a lot today. A little bit more easier to ride. So yeah, it was a pretty cruisy day. Yeah, and it's just another competitor. It's no different to racing teammates. So, yeah, we're here to try and win, and we're trying to do everything we can to put ourselves in the best position for that.
It's interesting. He's clearly having a good time racing well. They keep asking him about racing other people. They don't actually put the question in there, if you've noticed. And yesterday they did the same thing, and he's like, it's just like racing somebody else. And I don't know who they're asking about, trying to get some drama stirred up. But it seems like the organizers are trying to poke him a little bit to get him fired up about somebody else. Maybe it's somebody on his team, or who knows.
Yeah, they're trying to get a reaction out of him, but I mean,
he's resisting.
Sanders, he's rock solid right now. I mean, the guy's, I think he's riding below his potential even, and he's still dominating these guys, and clearly very happy with the new KTM. And it'll be interesting to see if the Honda boys try to elevate their equipment next year, because, you know, you remember last year we had a new Honda. All the KTM guys were stressed out.
Yeah.
You know, they were struggling. Now the new KTM is clearly at another level. So it'll be interesting to see where things fall coming in next year.
Yeah. Plenty to watch. And if you can get on the highlights and watch the bike highlights from today, we're starting to get into like classic Dakar highlights of dudes ripping it into the sand dunes and ripping it across the, lake beds and that kind of stuff. And it is exciting.
The images have been incredible, and NBC Sports has been doing a good job with their coverage.
Absolutely.
Peacock
Shout out
every night. So those guys are crushing it. And so if you're here in North America, you can watch all those highlights, and it's definitely worth sitting down and taking a look.
Start the addiction. Start it now. Take the red pill and follow along with us on this journey of awesome Dakar-ness. We're going to hear from Tosha next. Tosha's got, the best chance. No, we're not. It's in Spanish.
Nope. Dang, Tosha.
I wish I spoke Spanish. I don't. We're going to skip
we
that.
Could run it, but
Yeah, maybe.
We wouldn't know what he said.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Bueno, ha ido bastante bien.
I think that's why we don't hear from him.
Está bien. So it was good.
Yeah,
it was good. Good day.
Sí.
Good stage.
Sí. That's from Tosha. What else should we talk about today, Quinn? The stage today was, pretty significant. These guys got in the sand dunes. They got to do some navigating over in the sand, and they got some rain this morning. How much does rain play into the factor of, being able to catch your competitors?
I mean, rain is nice because the tracks laid down are really clear, and then is also just the traction and the feeling, and when you have rain in the dunes, it makes it really, really fun to ride. You don't have to worry about the soft spots as much and sinking in, and also the contrast is a little bit better when the dunes are wet.
Yeah,
so it's
right.
easier to see. When the dunes are dry, the contrast in the light is tough, so you can miss a drop or something like that. So the wet dunes make it quite a bit easier to deal with.
It's like a dream.
Yeah.
Finally, rain. Let's go.
Yep. I mean, I think, again, we kind of glazed over, but Edgar Canet,
right.
Today's ride was really solid from him. And we're seeing this young guy, in the second week now coming on even stronger. So he's improving as the rally goes on.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And I think this kid he's really kind of the whole package. I mean, he's well spoken, he's smart. The guy can ride motocross, he can ride enduro. He's clearly comfortable with going really fast across the desert and navigating.
And it's hard to have all three of those. And, I think we're going to learn more about him in a little bit when we call our special guest. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm sure this person will know. But yeah, he's been nothing short of fantastic. I do appreciate his youthful ambition. He, at a top 10, he's got the most speeding penalties, which I think is an important thing to take note. He's got 6 minutes of speeding penalties. So take those 6 minutes out.
Yeah.
Those are just homeboys in ninth.
Those are just rookie mistakes,
I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's cool.
He ain't slowing down.
Yeah, he doesn't have as much as Rui Concalves. Concalves has 25 minutes of speeding penalties, so he's actually the guy that just doesn't care. He's like, I'm going fast. I don't care. But yeah, great to see, Kane just exceeding anybody's imagination. And we all kind of wondered on this side of the pond, like, who's this kid getting a factory rally bike? Like, you guys, you shrunk your rally program from 3 teams to 1. From 6 guys to 3, basically. And then, also, here's Edgar Canet. He's a factory rally racer, too. And we're like, where's this coming from? Like, who is he? And nobody knew.
This news came late. I mean, when
really late.
Edgar was here with the factory team in November doing the roadbook training, and he was still scheduled to be on the Bass team.
Did you know who he was at that point? Did you just think he was
I had
a friend
heard
of a
about
friend?
him. I'd heard about him through Jordy, because Jordy
Okay,
Villadomes is, kind of sporting. He told me about this young kid. We have some young Americans that we're also looking at, that Jordy's been kind of grooming and
Okay.
you know, but he's like, hey, I have this kid. He's, you know, Spanish kid, really good, really solid. You know, we're gonna try to help him out to get on the Bass team this year. And so it was planned for that. And then just, you know, right before Christmas, all of a sudden it was like, hey, we're putting him on a factory bike. They made the announcement, and you know, clearly it's worked out. And
Yeah.
I think maybe there was a little bit of anxiety and concern about Kevin Benavides, you know,
Okay.
and you know, we knew that he was down, right? He wasn't going to be 100%.
Okay.
And so maybe they were like, hey, maybe we should have another guy on a factory bike. You know, if Kevin goes out in the first couple of days, at least we have another bike under the tent. And, you know, so clearly I think that the strategy is working.
The strategy's working, but it's still a big investment, right? Like trying to get this, but
I mean,
the bike
yes,
was there,
yes,
the
and-
bike was ready.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, they're probably not paying him much money. You know, he already had a bike for the race, so
Yeah.
you know, and they had already given him factory engine, factory suspension. So really, it's just paint job on the bike. You know,
Yeah.
a little more expense, a little more, you know, food, but they had to obviously. You know, Daniel had room in his motorhome, so there's another seat there.
Yeah. They're taking advantage of this stuff. Is it the same bike as Daniel's, or is it the previous version? Because Daniel's on brand new machinery, like leading edge, and so is the Benavides brothers and Edgar. Is there another one of those bikes available, or is he on last year's bike with modifications? Like, what's the dirt on Edgar's bike?
I don't know 100%, but
Well, why are you even on this show if you don't know all these things?
so the plan was for him to ride, you know, production bike, customer bike.
Yeah.
Now, I looked just kind of at a little bit of a close up photo of his bike, and it looks like he is on the new chassis on the factory bike.
What's the clue? What should I look for?
So
What are you looking at?
I can't tell you, but
Come on.
there's a definite clue.
Find it.
If you zoom in on the factory bikes, and you can see a little bit of difference between the factory bike and the customer bike or the previous generation. And I didn't spend a whole lot of time researching this, but I thought I saw an indication that he was on the new chassis.
Well, yeah. Well, since you won't tell me what it is, I'm just gonna have to zoom in and everywhere and bother you. Be like, is this it? Is this it? And wait for clues.
Yep.
Break you down. I'm gonna find out.
You know, if you guys hunt around from some of the footage from rest day and underneath the KTM tent, you'll probably get a little couple images of the new chassis and whatnot.
That's what we should do. We should have a scavenger hunt. Find it. Find the things that Quinn's not saying and send them to me. All right. Should we get to our special guest?
I think so,
'Cause it's a big deal.
We're gonna give this a go. We're gonna give him a call.
Okay. Should we tell people?
I think
what it is now?
we should tell people.
All right.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
We've talked about this individual a few times on the show, just based on his history with KTM and history with rally, and really, this individual started KTM's rally effort in the world. Before him, there was no such thing as a KTM rally bike. There was no such thing as KTM's racing rallies. There was only, you know, BMWs and Kajivas and big twin cylinders, you know, Yamaha, Honda jamming across the African desert. And this gentleman saw that, and like a lot of us, was like, that's it. That's what I got to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to call Heinz Kinigadner, KTM royalty, KTM legend, two-time, 250cc world motocross champ. Literally, if KTM did something, he did it first for them in the world of motorsports. And Quinn's worked with him and been around him, much more than I have, obviously. But he's agreed to let us call him today and, sort of grill him about rally. And he just got back from Saudi Arabia. So we hope to get some, really good insight into, kind of what he's seeing there and what he thinks of all the racing. And what do you want to say about him before we talk to him?
Yeah. Incredible guy for sure. And also Heinz's nephew, Tobias Ibster, is racing in Rally 2 class. So he was over there visiting with the team. And, I think Kenny goes every year to Dakar, and, we always follow him on Instagram because he's there and he's videoing the riders, and we get a lot of behind the scenes stuff from Heinz. So let's hope he answers. Should we give it a go?
Let's do it. Hold tight. We're going to get him on the phone. I'm Jesse Ziegler, and I'm going to call Heinz Kinigadner on my personal phone. This is a big day for me.
All right, here we go. We're going to give Kenny a call and see if we can get some info. We got a phone number, and we're calling him. He's home in Austria.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Kinigadner.
Hello.
Hey, you're making my day right now.
How are you?
I am fantastic now that I'm talking to you. How are you?
A little bit early for you guys over there, no?
Yeah, it's a little early, but we've been, every day of the Dakar Rally this year we've been up, so we're just hitting our stride, man. We're ready to go.
Okay.
I have Quinn Cody here with us as well. He wants to say hi.
All right, how you doing, Kenny?
Hello, Quinn. Hey, how are you?
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Good to hear.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to chat with you today. We know you just got back from a quick visit to Saudi Arabia to the Dakar. Can you just give us a little rundown on what you saw there and how your trip was?
Yeah, it was quite a short trip. I was going the day before the rest day to Heil. That's the city where they have had the rest day. And then we followed the day yesterday. Was a stage where they made it already a year ago, but reverse order, reverse direction. So it was nice to see how confident our boys are. I'm talking about our riders, the KTM team, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Sanders. He said that new bike, it's such a big step. He said, I'm far away from 100%. He said so, and this is of course what you need at the Dakar, no, not going and fighting like hell because this ends up in a disaster normally. No, he is really confident, and he said, if it goes like it goes until now, technical wise, everything perfect, then I'm not worried about it.
That's pretty great. Yeah, we've noticed the same thing. Obviously, that Daniel seems to be in a league of his own out there with his speed, and now the bike matching his speed. And man, he's just putting it to him every day, it seems.
Yeah, I must say. Also, if you watch him on the videos, he is a different Sanders than the last years, and he said it is only the bike. So I have to believe, of course. But I had a nice talking a good talking last summer here in Austria, where I told him, hey, you have to change a little bit your talking with the teammates, with the mechanics, with everybody, because even if the bike is not perfect, if you tell them shit and stupid and whatever, nobody gets really to be motivated, no? And all the top stars in racing, we know, from Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, down to the motorcycle riders, they find a way to build up their own team, and especially at the Dakar, where it is really a hard race, 14 days every day, 6, 7, 8 hours on the bike. It is helpful if the team supports you, and it looks like he understood a bit.
Yeah, definitely that morale within the team, and like you said, especially at a race like Dakar is so important. And I've seen it working with the team over the last few years that there were times where the morale was not very good, and so this is really positive to see. And looking to the future. Can you give us your thoughts on Edgar, because he's really impressed us so far, and he kind of came out of nowhere this year, really.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, only 9 months ago, he told me that he would love to be a rally rider, because before he did motocross. We supported him now. Yeah, since 10 years with our clothing, and then Nani Roma was helping him with bikes. I made special prizes from KTM. I get some for them. And about, I would say, 3 years ago, he had a real bad crash where he broke his back badly, but luckily there were no loss of anything. But only last year, 2 years ago now, he was doing the European Championship motocross, and he was not so bad. He was in top 10. And like I said, 9 months ago, he asked me, "Hey, you are doing this Oasis rally. That's a rally for beginners, we say, in southern Tunisia. And can I come?" I said, "Yeah, of course. I will organize a bike for you, and please, I invite you." And this was his first approach into the desert. And now 9 months later in the factory team, and like today, second place, wow, unbelievable. And the attitude of that boy is, wow, everybody is so happy in the team. He is really with his feet on the ground and knows that this is not normal. So let's hope. It goes on like it started.
That's fantastic. We're looking at some old pictures of you right now on video on some of the first KTM, from the Moto Hall, the Dakar exhibit at the Moto Hall that was just opened up there in Austria. Okay. And I can't imagine what it was like the first time you went, out for a rally raid and decided to come back to Mr. Pierre and say, "Hey, this is what we should be doing with KTM right now. We need to make rally bikes." Like, how did you know that was where KTM needed to be at that time? And then, and how did you convince him to just go all in on this, this very unique racing endeavor? And did you ever imagine that success would come for the next 30 years?
Yeah, honestly saying, I don't like to say this too loud, but 92, when they made Paris to Cape Town, South Africa, I saw this announcement and I thought, wow, sure they are doing this only once. And crossing whole Africa on a bike, my dream. So I have to be there. That time I had no money, I had nothing. I find a Italian team and I was on a Yamaha. Yamaha Delgada offered the Denere 660, not the race bike at all, but they offered bikes there and then the service. And I was doing it. I was doing it only until south of Libya. Then the bike really was falling apart. But the response out of that few days was actually so much more than I got for my 2 world titles, wow. Motocross world titles. This was actually the initial key that I thought, wow, this is the place we have to be. And then we started with doing some smaller rallies, 1 week rallies in Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt. 85 we won. 84 I won the Faroes rally, was the second most important rally after Dakar. And we started actually being there for privateers, because with our 620 engine, we had no chance against the big twin-cylinder Yamaha, Gachivas, and so on. But already the second year, we were the most ridden bike in the field. So this was a big success. And from the second year on, they pushed us in to be the competitor for Stefan Peterhansel, which was definitely not the case. No, I was maybe fast enough, but not prepared enough. And the bike also was not strong enough to do it 14 days. But in these days, the race was much more an adventure tour, I would say. Mm-hmm. Much more compared to today, where it is fighting for seconds. So this is very, very different. And where it goes, well, I don't know where it goes in the future, but still, it is. Even if I'm saying now it is fighting for a second, it is the biggest adventure what you can do on a bike. Mm-hmm. That's clear.
For sure. Yeah,
for sure.
This is the toughest thing. And you know, we see the amateurs back there just barely surviving this thing. And then, you know, the front of the race is fighting for seconds. So it's really incredible. Really quickly, Tobias, how is he doing? I know your nephew Tobias is racing and he's looking really strong in Rally 2. Can you give us a little update on his race?
Yeah, that makes me really proud. I mean, he has not really the support like others have. He is fighting hard for it because we told him, hey, you have to show us that you really want to be here on top. This means working day and night for it. But he is in a very good team, the BAS racing team from Belgium, Netherlands. They are doing a terrific job. They have standard bikes, so this is of course a difference compared to the factory bikes. He's on a complete standard bike. And still being very close, or sometimes even in between the factory bikes. And I told him, you have to show a few days at least that you are able to go that speed. And then sure you will be on the list for hopefully the next one who gets a ride from a factory team.
It seems like you made him go through like the ringer and start in the original Motul class the previous year and really get his feet wet in the real experience. You're not making it easy on him.
No, it's definitely not. But it was also only 2 years ago. Now, okay, we switched to the next one. Now it's 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. I told him, let's do the Baja in Dubai. I have a friend there, our Husqvarna importer. He has some bikes there, not new ones, but good conditions. So I said, let's try this because the navigation is not so important. It's only 2 days. It's not so expensive. I will finance it, and let's go. And we expected it, honestly saying, but he fulfilled and he won. Yeah. So this was okay. And for this victory, he got a free. He got a free entry for the Abu Dhabi Desert Challenge, which is a race which goes 1 week, World Championship. And then he did this race, and he was the best newcomer. And for this, he got the free entry for the Dakar. And, then next step was doing the Dakar. Even the budget was limited, so we said, no mechanic, you go to the Malemoto class. And he was winning this class last year, so then we said, okay, let's try one more. Yeah. With a better team, with a real good team, I must say. The team is very close to the factory team. They have a physiotherapist, they have mechanics enough, so you have really nothing to do except performing on the stages. And so now we have to see what the future brings for him.
That's a little different than the back in your day when you were racing, the Africa races. There wasn't a lot of physios and catered meals and ice baths in the bivouac.
Yeah, if I see this today with all these motorhomes, this was even the big Citroën and Peugeot stars from Camel. They slept in tents. Everybody slept in tents, and this was really a big difference. You have to pack it up every day, build it up every day. Then in Morocco, sometimes we had snowing, and 3 days later it was so hot. You were even not able to close the mosquito net because it was too hot inside.
Oh,
but then it was real. This was real adventure.
Yeah.
For sure. Awesome. Well, gosh, thank you so much, Kenny. We really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us this morning, and we're
very happy. I arrived only this morning from Saudi.
Mm-hmm.
We flew last 2:00 in the morning. We started back home now, and when I opened my phone and I saw the results from the Supercross, winning and being second, winning with Sexton and Romer second in the smaller class. So this means the season starts perfect for KTM. So
yeah.
with all our problems financial wise, our mother has the KTM AG. But our sports department brings some very good news into the whole company, and hopefully motivates everybody to really open the gas again.
Yeah.
Open the gas.
Open the gas. We're doing it. For sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Kinigadner. We are honored to have you on the show. Obviously, you're a legend, and man, we really love your insight into the race. And I gotta ask, who do you think Daniel's going to take it? Is that your prediction for the win?
This race, one small thing and it is over. Every day, roughly 500-600 kilometers, 350 miles, whatever. Off-road, this means concentration, no mistakes, and hopefully the material stays together. But if everything works out, and until now it looks fantastic, I'm very optimistic that Daniel is bringing it home.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We look forward to chatting with you again. Hopefully, every year now you can come on our show.
Okay, yeah, I'm more than happy to.
All right, we'll send you the link to the show so you can listen.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, please.
All right.
Then wish you a good day. See you.
Yep. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Cheers. Awesome stuff from Heinz Kinigadner. Right,
I can die happy now.
That's pretty huge. We got Kenny on the show, so I think we.
What a legend.
We're definitely a legend of the sport, and legend KTM royalty really, and so he's been around KTM for a long time and helped to steer the direction of the motorsports department there, and so it's amazing to have a phone call with him on this Sunday afternoon in Austria.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy that won Motocross World Championships in when did he win? I want to
say like 84, 85.
Looks like 84, 85 back-to-back 250cc World Motocross Championships, and then straight into Rally Raid. He's an FIM legend. He was inducted into the FIM Hall of Fame basically in 2016. He's credited for turning KTM around by winning those championships and setting its course for, basically its DNA in that way. And like he said, he convinced the team to build rally bikes and go race rallies, even though they were underpowered and there was no possible way they were going to win. And man, it turned out okay for them in the rally world.
I think it worked out because like he said, the more than half the bikes all of a sudden were KTMs in the race because nobody really wanted to ride a twin cylinder BMW
or could find one that was capable of racing that.
They were the fastest, but they were massive.
So they built something that consumers could use, and here they are.
That's what we continue to do.
Back on top of the standings here with old Daniel Sanders. All right, well, like I said, I can die happy now. That was the best thing I've ever done on a podcast, video, blog show. I love that.
Great stuff, and really exclusive stuff to get Mr. Kinigadner on the phone with us.
Yeah, thanks.
We feel very privileged.
Yeah, amazing. I don't know how we're going to top that, but we're going to try our hardest topping that right now with an interview from Ross Branch. As you guys know, Ross exited the race yesterday. Seemed like he had a really bad get off, rung his bell, jumped in a helicopter, and didn't seem Didn't seem himself, that's for sure. But thankfully, we got Ross, live from the pits in action, and he's smiling as always, right?
Ashley went and hunted Ross down, and Ashley's been doing some good work for us over there in the pits. So we really appreciate everything we're getting out of the bivouac. So here we go with Ross.
Hi again, Jesse, Quinn. I found Branchy just before he leaves. Ross, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm super disappointed. I think out of everything, I'm more disappointed than actually being hurt. To bow out of a Dakar at any stage is really disappointing, and especially after the week I had. I had such a great week going, and everything was working exactly like we wanted it to go. But unfortunately, this is racing. A little hole or a riverbed caught me out, and we're still here in one piece. We've got a few little issues that we've got to get sorted out now, but feeling really good.
Is it especially disappointing given that you were going so well, given that you had the number one plate?
Definitely, the number one plate means a lot to me. It means a lot to everybody around here, and to crash out with the number one plate is devastating. But it's not the end of the world, it's just a number. But yeah, just to leave rally in general is disappointing for me. I don't know how many years I've left, to do this. So every rally I like to cross the finish line, no matter if it's winning or losing, and as long as I've given my best, So now I feel like the cup's a little bit empty, and I need to fix myself and obviously mentally just go and prepare and be happy again. It is a disappointing thing, but this is racing. It could have happened to anyone. It can happen to anyone. Just got to be full of life.
Okay, tricky topic now. So I've just been chatting with Toby and Sam. I've chatted with Robbie Wallace, with James Hillier. Everyone's had bumps on the head, but a concussion maybe. Concussion's a massive issue these days in sport generally. How do you feel about it? Because I could see yesterday you wanted to go back on, but you made the right choice, man. There's no doubt about that. But how should we deal with this in motorsport?
Yeah, concussions are super difficult. It's really dangerous and it's concerning. If you don't stop yourself, or if nobody stops you, it can be life-threatening. So, I've had a couple in my life. A couple of them have come around. So I kind of knew that yesterday I wanted to go, and your body is telling you that you're fit enough, you're healthy enough, you can go for it. Just your head is a little bit dizzy, and you never want to get on a bike and that can do 160 k's an hour. Where you can't really see properly. So I don't know what we can do in motorsport to try and clean it up a little bit and make sure that nobody takes advantage of going out and riding with a concussion. But I think at the same time, with us motorsport athletes, we've all had concussions before. We know the feelings, we know the symptoms, we know what the body's going to react like. So I think we know when to call it quits, and it's a tough decision. It's so much money just to come here and get on the start line and then be involved, and then you also in the top 5 and to end your rally like that. And like Sam and Toby, they put everything they had into this rally so they could try and prove a point, and which they were doing in an incredible manner. And then to have something like a concussion where somebody looks at you and they don't really see the problem with you, but inside your head is spinning, and you don't know where's the right direction. So it is hard, and you can't really explain it to people watching the sport. But once you've had it a couple of times, you know how scary it is and the thoughts that go through your mind. So yeah, I think it's just up to the riders and drivers now just to call it quits, like we've done. I think it's the right decision. It's a horrible decision. No one likes to leave the race, and no matter what condition, you always want to get to the finish line, whether it's winning or coming last. You want to cross the finish line, get the little medal, and go home with a smile on your face, But if it worked out like that every time, it would be perfect. But sometimes with a concussion, it doesn't work out like that, and you end up on the wrong side of the story. So yeah, disappointed but healthy. And the coolest thing is, the doctor's taking me to take a couple of weeks off, so give me enough time to get ready and go back to Abu Dhabi and fight again there, and just try and just have some fun on my motorcycle until next year. Dakar comes around every year, so if we're out this year, let's try again next year.
Good stuff. I'll see you in Abu Dhabi.
For sure.
See you in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff from Ross again.
Yeah, really insightful.
Disappointed, but you wouldn't really know that he was disappointed by talking to him.
Yeah.
And
you feel for him.
Concussions are tough. They're difficult, and in a day or two, he's going to be feeling pretty normal, and he's going to be really, I think, like, damn, I wish I could have kept going. And but this is the way it goes. And I mean, we've all been through it. Anybody that's raced has had concussions over the years, and it's there's been more light shed on it in recent years about how the dangers of continuing on and having a secondary concussion and things like this. So he made the right decision, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tough to hear from him. So disappointed, but again, he's just, I don't know. He's inspiring because, he's taking it all in, he's processing it, and he's still looking forward to the next race. And man, he is the guy you can definitely cheer for every time. So we're cheering for you, Ross. Thank you so much for taking time out of your, shortened Dakar Rally experience. And as you head home, we really hope you take care of yourself and get, everything you need and get rest up and come out swinging again. Just, get back to that, riding with that number 1 plate.
We love having Ross Branch in the race.
Yeah, for sure.
They alluded to something else with Toby and Sam Sunderland. And unfortunately, Toby and Sam had to withdraw from the race yesterday due to also a concussion from Sam Sunderland.
Yeah.
So, co-driver, which, I think Sam maybe thought, oh, yeah, he's going to be safe riding in a car, not dealing with this stuff. But, I mean, you get shucking around in a car, and there's there's a lot of stuff that maybe if you're looking down at the road book and the drivers see something and, you can get a good whack to the head. And unfortunately, it looks like he's taken a couple good hits this first week, and they've had to withdraw from the race.
We have a quote. I believe we have an interview.
Yeah, we have an interview with Toby Price.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley, for getting Toby on the camera. We're going to switch it over to Toby Price right now and hear how his his departure is going.
Yo, Jesse. Yo, Quinn. I've come to find Toby Price. He's here in the overdrive tent. Unfortunately, as you know, the pair that I have named Sunder Price. Actually, did you know I've been calling you Sunder Price on YouTube?
Yeah, I'd been hearing this a little bit, and it's starting to pick up and take off.
It was either that or Prunderland. But I figured Sunder Price sounded more like Thunder Price, which is kind of cool. Toby, tell us what's going on in your head right now.
For sure. A bit of everything. Surely disappointed for sure. It's not what we come here and set out to do, and for sure, it's for Sam not what he come here to set out to do either. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, health and safety is the most important part, and that's money can't buy fix really. So, yeah, it hurts that we come here and fell short of what we were trying to achieve, but. At the end of the day, luckily I've got great sponsors and supporters that have helped with the car to make this all happen. They completely understand with it and not forcing us into the car, and I'm not forcing Sam back into the car. It's been the last couple of days been a bit of a rough ride for him, and it's completely different to the bike. You can't. I put myself through the pain and torture on a bike, and it's up to me to decide and choose what to do. And me being in control of the car, it was up to me to make the call a bit as well. And I knew Sammy wasn't healthy. I forced him to go to the medical because I was hoping they'd give us pretty much the result we got anyway. And yeah, pull it to an end. And it doesn't feel as bad for him then, because he's for sure under a bit of pressure. He thinks he's failed the whole thing and made it hard for me. But it's like I say, he's a mate, and I don't want to hurt him. And it's it's hard to accept at the time. But now that we're in the bivouac and there's empty spaces and the cars are all out on the track, it's I feel it's been the right call to do. So it's reassess, get ready for hopefully we get to do some more. If not, I'm happy with what we were able to achieve in that first week and show we have the speed. And it is what it is.
Concussion's a massive issue in professional sport these days. I don't know whether motorsport at the moment has the same kind of levels of protocols that some other things like rugby and Aussie rules and stuff has. How do we do this in motorsport? How do we cope with this? Because guys are falling off the whole time.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's concussions is not a good thing. You've only got one head. And it's like I say, it doesn't matter how big or small your bank account is. There's no easy fix for the solution to it. So you've got to be smart with it. And like I say, I think we we probably went a little bit over, but we were leaving it up to Sam's call. And once we were into that stage yesterday, it wasn't kind of meshing for him. And I'd already pretty much said that this will be the last day, and we're happy with it. So it's like I say, it's a hard thing to decide at the point in time. You only want to be out there to do your best, and we're all competitive and we're racers and we want to race. But at the end of the day, longevity is more important than anything. And we're between all of us in our crew and team. I don't want him to get to 50 and 60 years old and he can't remember his name. So, it's definitely something that needs a lot of control. And, in motorsport, it's definitely a difficult thing to gauge off because, you're sitting in a car and, you feel fine, but things just aren't clicking properly. So it's... you need to make that decision yourself, and we feel like we did the right call, and it was just probably we needed to do it half a day earlier, but Sam's a fighter and he wanted to continue and didn't want to let the whole thing down, and once we got that through to him, he's not letting no one down. He's not letting myself down, the team, the crew. It made it a little bit easier to accept, and the medical team finalised that, and I was super happy that they made that call.
Let's think about some good things. Tell us, what have you really enjoyed about being in a car, being with Sam, being here not on the bike? Because obviously most of the people watching and listening to this podcast are bikers.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, mostly all bikers, and I'm still a biker at heart for sure. And when we're in those stony stages, that car is absolutely amazing to be in. For sure, the risk goes down a hell of a lot. When you're on the motorcycle, you're lining up and you're taking off to that everyday stage. You're always like, well, is this going to be the day that something goes on? And like I say, it's now even proven in the car it can happen. And there's a lot of people that have had some injuries this rally out of the car category as well. So there's no guarantee that you're 100% safe. But I've enjoyed the car, and Sam was definitely enjoying it till one of those stray little head knocks. So it's it's hopefully not the last of myself or Sam in Dakar Rally. Love being here and love seeing the crew, and it's like a second family basically. And I feel like we did a good job that first week. So just fingers crossed there's a second chance. But we'll see what happens over the next 12 months and reassess and go from there.
Oh, we've loved seeing you in your car. Just before I let you go, and I want you to be totally honest with me, from the heart of hearts, like from the real kind of the depths of your soul, what do you think of Jesse Ziegler and Quinn Cody?
Mate, them boys I love them. They're legends. So
no, that's not what you're supposed to say.
No, them boys are good. They've always supported me and known Quinn for a long time, ridden with Quinn a lot, and always I enjoy it. Don't worry, boys. Don't let anyone else tell you any different, all right? I enjoy what you do, and good boys, so or good lads. So the Aussie way.
Cheers, mate. Well, good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
Got some validation from Toby Price right there.
Yeah. My day's getting better.
Yeah.
Heinz Kinigadner, Toby Price. Get to sit next to Quinn every day.
All right.
Dude, what is going on?
Jeez.
The world is
hit the
crushing
jackpot,
it.
Jesse.
Great to hear from Toby. Bummed for them, but man, it's refreshing to see them, admit that it's time to go. And it's cool to see that team rally around Sam and be like, hey man, this isn't you causing us to quit. This is an injury. This is not anything. And it sounds like Sam hit his head a couple times and was battling concussion symptoms and probably was like, I don't feel great, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going like a lot of people have. And then they forced him to, reconsider and get to the medical tent, get diagnosed. And they're like, no, you probably need to stop.
Yeah. And Toby said something really interesting there about, being in the car versus being on the bike. And on the bike, it's you're putting yourself at risk. You know the risks. In the car, of course, they know the risks, but you have another life next to you in the car that you're responsible for, right? Yeah. And it always seems like it is the co-driver that gets the worst of it, whether it's just instinct, the driver protecting themselves or what, but seems like a lot of the roles, the co-driver ends up on the on the high side and
Yeah.
gets the most of the impact and whatnot. So, that's definitely something to think about. And when like Sam was to the point in his career on the motorcycle where, he was putting himself at risk still, but he also now has a family and
right.
he's, you're always thinking about that. When you're younger and it's just you, then it's like, yeah, you just put yourself at risk. You don't think about it. But when you have kids and a wife and everything else, and then, these things enter your mind while you're racing, and then it makes it really hard for you to do your job.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So glad to see that, they took the wise decision and there won't be any, further risk to either one of these guys.
Yeah, amen to that. And they were having a great first week. They were placing in the top 5. They were out there competing, and for your first time in the top level class car at Dakar, pretty rad. I hope to see them back really soon.
And I mean, now that we're talking about cars,
Yeah,
we should probably talk a little bit about some of our Americans in the side-by-side division, particularly.
definitely.
Because we have American Brock Hager and co-driver Max Eddy leading the side-by-side division.
Yeah, the SSV division, which is basically the top performing side-by-sides. These are, Polaris factory side-by-sides, Can-Am factory, these type of racers. Brock Hager and Max Eddy from the USA, they're leading that race by a lot. It looks like everybody else has dropped off the pace. Stage wise, they got second today, but
seems like they're just kind of they have to manage a hour and 35-minute lead. So barring a disaster, they're in the Polaris factory racing team. Looks like they have a teammate in second as a former dirt bike guy, Xavier Desaultres.
Yep. We've talked about him.
And
in
then
the past.
another former dirt bike guy in third is Chaleco Lopez. So a Chilean guy who was racing dirt bikes back in my day.
Back in your day again. But yeah, great to see Brock. If you go to Brock's profile on Dakar, all he does is talk about Jimmy Lewis.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't. They do. Everybody in Saudi Arabia or everybody at Dakar, they got Jimmy Lewis fever over there.
I was looking at the overall classification for cars, and these guys are sitting 21st overall. So
Really?
you mix them in with the big guys, the T1 class, and
Wow.
the factory Raptors and overdrive Toyotas and stuff.
Wow.
They're 21st overall. So
That's excellent.
really solid ride for a little side by side.
Yeah, in the first time being there, which is kind of epic. If you remember, they were part of a duo of Americans that had their first stage wins in stage one. Yeah, stage one or the prologue.
I
think it was.
can't remember.
I think it was stage one. The other one is Leverton from the USA. He's in the Challenger class, and they're part of like the Red Bull Off-Road Junior Team USA. It's Corbin Leverton, and he's leading that class as well. It looks like.
Yeah, I think Mitch Guthrie and Kellen Walsh they're sitting 5th overall in the in the car category.
Oh, cool.
So, and then I think Seth Quintero, he's in 8th in the car category. So, about an hour, 28 minutes back off the lead.
Cool. So I was wrong about Corbin Leverton. Sorry. He got the stage win today.
Oh.
By 24 seconds. And but overall, they're down in the rankings a little bit. I was wrong about their overall ranking. So don't quote me on that.
Gotcha.
I got that wrong.
Yeah, we haven't been keeping up on the cars 100%, but we figured we'd give everybody a little bit of an update on the Americans, at least.
Yeah.
And, we got a lot of former dirt bike guys. Kellen Walsh there, former KTM factory rider, stage winner from back in 2005 era. So 20 years ago, Kellen's been racing Dakar for 20 years, and
Call him out on how old he is.
I think we should get him on the show one of these days for an interview, because he's raced on a bike, he's navigated for Robbie Gordon, he's navigated for a bunch of side by side teams, now in the factory Ford team. So
Speaking of former bike guys, where's Andrew Short at? We haven't checked in with Andrew Short for a while.
Gosh, Andrew, I want to say they had some struggles. I haven't been able to follow it very closely, but He's in a side-by-side, a Can-Am, I think, the South Racing Can-Am team.
Yeah, I think he is. Let me see if I can.
It seems like those Can-Ams. I know Sarah Price had a few little issues that put her basically out of the race.
Looks like Andrew Short's sitting in 17th with Hunter Miller in the Can-Am Factory team. That's on the stage today. I don't know where they're at overall. See where you're at overall, Andrew. You should call us 9th overall, so he's in the top 10. But they're 10 hours and 16 minutes out, and they have 30 minutes of penalties. So they seem like they had a long night or two, or a long day or two,
for sure. All right. Tomorrow, stage 8.
What's on tap for stage 8? I want to know.
Al Duadimi to Riyadh.
Riyadh's a big city.
Yes, it is.
All right. They're getting 487 kilometers of special stage on tap, 250 kilometers of liaison. Kind of a big day.
Yeah, kind of a big day for these guys for sure. And, Daniel Sanders will be leading out. So
he's just going to be on gobble up bonus time mode and limit damage, right?
Yep, that's kind of what it looks like. And, it'll be interesting to see who comes out swinging for the stage win tomorrow. I think probably more of one of the Honda guys, Ricky Brabec, Skylar Howes.
Yeah.
One of the guys that finished back today, but
as long as they're healthy and feeling good, we haven't really heard from them. And I don't know if Ricky's injury recovery is starting to hamper him or feel bad, or if Skylar had some issue come up. We don't know yet.
Yeah, not 100% sure, but we'll see if we can't get a little more info for you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you all for listening. Epic show today. Thank you, Heinz Kinigadner. Thank you, Ashley, for getting us Ross Branch, Toby Price, and great to hear from everybody out there today. Thank you, Climb, for supporting our show as our title sponsor every year. You're the best. Rally Navigator and Baja Rally. Please go use those things, enter races. Moto Minded, the Nora Mexican 1000. That race is coming up first. Go check out Nora. Enter a race. Double Take Mirror, High Desert Avengers, Taco Moto. Let's go. Let's go racing. Get dirt bikes. Have fun. That's all you got to do in life, and you're happy.
That's right.
Peace out.